There's the yodeling we talked about earlier on. I'm so glad her mom sent along that song. That was a very happy, happy song. Sung by a person who, for my money and knowledge, was very happy during her life. Telephone number again here at the studio, 387-9326. When you call in, you'll go directly on air with me. No, the calls are not being screened tonight. Telephone number again, 387-9326. And remember, I will get this show up on the internet as soon as possible, as soon as we're done tonight. Just go to Facebook and search the name Scott Spears. 387-9326. We've certainly had our fair share of calls tonight. Would love to have more. But as I said earlier, it's a very hard thing to do right now, so I understand if you can't call in. Do want to mention the information again. Jessica Nicole West, born January 1st, 1987, passed away November 9th, 2011. From Cardington, Ohio, visitation will be Tuesday, November 15th, from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Gilead Friends Church. The funeral will be Wednesday morning, November the 16th, at 11 a.m. at the Gilead Friends Church. Burial will be in the River Cliff Cemetery in Mount Gilead, Ohio. Her father said it best, I think, a few moments ago, that maybe up in heaven they needed somebody for their choir, and certainly we've heard the beautiful voice of Jessica tonight, and I certainly can understand that. I want to talk a little bit about her life, give a little background for people out there maybe listening who weren't lucky enough to know her. You know what? We're going to get the phone. We'll come back to that in a second. Hey, you're on WDCM.
Hi, my name's Michelle.
Wait, what was your name again?
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Michelle. Michelle.
Jessica was one of my best friends. And I remember the first time I seen her, she was singing up on stage, and I just thought to myself, it was kind of famous.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful soul, and she is in heaven, and I just want to give my best wishes to her family members and to all of the friends out there that are listening tonight. And thank you, Scott, so much for doing this for all of us and giving us the opportunity to be able to hear her voice one last time.
Well, it's my pleasure. Don't even thank me. It's my pleasure to do something like this, and thank you so much for calling in. That's a great memory of the first time you saw her. Are there any others that stick out real quick?
Just how great of a person she really was, and how helpful, and her smile and laugh, and genuinely nice person inside and out.
Nice person. I think we all can echo that. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I think the feelings are pretty mutual from everybody who's called in. We lost a very, very nice person with a lot of talent, and I can see why that caller there, when she saw her up on stage, would think, hey, this is a star. This is somebody who's a big deal. She had that. I drug her to a thing at the Popcorn Festival one time. I'll never forget. We were over on the showcase stage, and I knew she could sing. I knew she could sing very well. And called and pleaded like I normally do with most people. And she came and she sang. I think it was like a Friday afternoon. Her mom was there. I remember that. And she was just great. And she was always great when she sang, and her face lit up. Always a little shy about singing, but I think we all get the nerve. I don't know. It was. She had a voice, and I think everybody listening out there tonight can attest to that. Phone lines are open. Let's get them in. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, my name's Kaylin. I'm Jessica's stepsister, and I just wanted to say that when you were talking about her yodeling, I once asked her how she did it, and she told me that she did it by saying "little lady." And I'm sitting here with her dad and all of our family, and, you know, I kind of just said that, and everyone actually got a good laugh, so I just wanted to share it with everyone else.
No, thank you. We need a laugh tonight. I think I think that sounds like her. I can hear her saying that. Thank you.
All right, well, we'll all miss her, and we all love her very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I remember one time I just pestered her about the yodeling, and she did it. And, oh, she was one of a kind. Oh, my goodness. She certainly was. And I think everybody agrees to that tonight. 387-9326 is the number to call in to share a memory. 740-387-9326. Call in and give us a memory. We're going to get more songs in. That's very important to me tonight. Give you a little background. Started this once. Try to get it in here again. Jessica started at the... No. We're going to go to the phones. Hi, you're on air.
Yes, this is Jessica's Uncle Alan.
Oh, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'll tell you, just listening to her voice is sweet heaven up above. I mean, this is so touching. I mean, it's just makes my whole body warm and shiver.
You can't not be happy when you hear her sing. I know it sounds strange because we all are sad. We all are sad. But when I hear her, it makes me happy.
I mean, I heard that yodeling song, and I mean, I went from tears in my eyes to my feet were a-pumping, and I mean, an instant smile on my face.
Absolutely. I'm so glad. And we're going to get more songs in here. That's the phone calls and the songs. It's just very important, and I think it's went very well.
Oh, yes, sir. I so appreciate this being done for that girl. I mean, she has touched so many and will continue to touch so many lives.
Oh, you know what? The physical life may have ended, but it's not over.
I mean, I will carry her forever in my heart. She is that person that, I mean, will help spiritually lift me up. All I have to do is look back upon memories of seeing her from a child, from the first time I got to watch her, and her mother and father had to go away for a couple hours and asked me to watch her, so I kept an eye on her. When they come back, they thought I had already corrupted their daughter because I had her watching college basketball.
What a great memory to have. Well, sir, I when the family calls in, I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much.
I thank you, and God bless you for everything you're doing.
Hey, no thanks needed. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And once again, the phone line will remain open, 387-9326. This time I'm going to go through this regardless. If you're on the phone, just let it ring. I'll get to you. Jessica started at the Gillian Christian School and later graduated from Cardington Lincoln High School in the class of 2005, where she participated in show choir, various plays, softball, and 4-H, where she showed rabbits and was a reporter. Furthering her education, Jessica first attended The Ohio State University in Marion and then transferred to Kent State University, where she earned degrees in both psychology and English and assisted one of her teachers with completing a psychology book. While there, she also fell in love with a fellow psychology student. Once again, I don't know if he would want me to mention his name, so I'm not going to, whom she married at a small chapel on campus on August 19th, 2011. Then she moved to Wisconsin and was working on her master's degree, wanting to help those with disabilities, and also began working at the Fox Valley Autism Treatment Program, helping children with autism. So there you go. That's That's it in a nutshell, but there is so much more, and we're hearing it all tonight. Okay, if that was you on the phone, please call back 387-9326. We're going to open up those phone lines again. I have two more songs that I definitely want to get in the next 20 minutes. Both by request, actually. So we're going to get them in. 387-9326 is the number. Good evening, you're on air. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Lena Bill. I'm Jessica's aunt. I guess probably the only memory I have that sticks out in my mind was from when she was a baby. She was the happiest little baby, and she turned into be the happiest young woman. She was always had a smile on her face, and I just remember her toddling around with her blonde hair and her giggle. So all she did was giggle. She was so happy from the day she was born. And she is going to be missed very much, not just by her voice, but by her actions. I don't think Jessica ever met anybody that wasn't a friend.
Well, I think the first line that I read there earlier on that somebody had written, said everyone who knew her couldn't help but fall in love with her, for she sang a song everyone could hear, and I think that's probably right.
Yes, it is. It was just Jessa's nature, her personality. She loved life, and she wanted everybody else to live life and to live life to the fullest, and I think that's what she would want now. She would want everybody to move on and be happy and laugh and not cry at her memory, which I've been trying to do. It's hard.
Very hard.
I figure eventually, we're all going to get to the point that we can actually watch the videos of her and not cry.
That's right.
We're going to be able to laugh just like she laughed, and she just was always such an upbeat and happy person. And I think that's the part that's going to be missed the most.
Well, we can certainly follow by example.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And once again, those phone lines will remain open. I certainly thank the family members who've called in tonight. That's very touching, and I thank you for doing that quite a bit. 387-9326, area code 740, telephone number 387-9326. Again, remember the visitation will be this coming Tuesday night, November the 15th, 3 to 7 p.m. at Gilead Friends Church. The funeral will be Wednesday morning, November the 16th at 11 a.m. at the Gilead Friends Church. Burial will be in the Rivercliff Cemetery in Mount Gilead, Ohio. One thing that's very important, because the last hour, to be honest with you, is kind of a blur to me, so if I did this before, please forgive me, but Jessica was the thing that brought her life to an end was an automobile accident, injuries sustained, and from my understanding, it was caused by snow and ice. So we want to, because I think this is maybe a hallmark of her life, that she wanted to help other people, and I think after reading her biography there, I think you can tell that. So in tribute to her, in regard to her, because the weather will turn bad around here soon. Here are the tips for driving on snow and ice. Please pay attention to these. Make sure you can see. Run the air conditioner to make sure the windows are defogged. Check your lights. If they're covered with snow, please dust them off. Give yourself time to brake, and if you do brake, get the maximum efficiency from your brakes. Watch carefully for black ice. If sometimes it'll look like a puddle. Make sure it is not black ice. Remember the tough spots. If the road is dangerous when it is clear, it's more dangerous and treacherous when it's snow-covered and ice-covered. Remember those spots. Pay attention. Too much steering is bad. Don't move the wheel back and forth too much. Avoid rear tire slides And remember, technology offers no miracles. Cars have gotten a lot better in the last few years, but technology cannot do everything. You have to be aware. Please do not be on cell phones. Do not be texting. Do not do anything when you're behind the wheel of a car, especially when it is snow-covered, and even more especially when it's not. Do not... And if it's too bad outside, don't go. No job is that important. People can make those judgments. Please don't go. If it's bad outside and you think you might not make it, or you just don't feel comfortable, don't go. That's very important. And we do that in remembrance of Jessica, because hopefully somebody out there tonight is listening to that, and they maybe will pay attention and not have any trouble out there. I do want to mention this. This is kind of important also. Memorial contributions can be made to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD. 59 Roche Drive, R-O-C-H-E. Number 250, Columbus, Ohio, 43229, in support of her friend Beth Faulkner. So remember, memorial contributions may be made to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD, 5900 R-O-C-H-E, Roach Drive, number 250, Columbus, Ohio, 43229, in support of her friend Beth Faulkner. Hi, you're on the air. Oh, hello? Nope, I think we had a little issue there. Let's see if we can get that worked out. Hi, you're on the air.
Yes, good evening again, Scott, and I apologize if I'm calling too much.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I'm a survivor of a black ice accident that happened on US 23 going north on January 14th of 2006, and I survived without a scratch, but some others hit the guardrail and wiped their vehicles out, and my advice also is to, no matter what happens, stay in your vehicle, because when people start getting out and looking at the damage, other vehicles try to swerve to avoid you. So the best thing to do is also stay in the vehicle.
Hey, thank you for sharing. It's very important. These things are very important. I want to get to another song here, but thank you for sharing that. And
Thank you.
And I'm glad you did. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Once again, if you'd like to call in, have a remembrance of Jessica, we're going to do that, 387-9326. Let the phone ring. I will get to it. But here's another song. This one was requested by her mother, Charisse, and I think you'll know the tune.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that had saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
I had not heard that until just then. Whew. If anybody'd like to call in, we're heading into the home stretch here. 387-9326. Whew, my goodness. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hi, my name's Austin Martin, and I was Jessica's cousin. I just want to let her know that I'm going to miss her, and I'm going to make her proud for everything I do in my life.
I'm sure she'd be glad to hear that, and I'm sure she is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Like I say once again, oh, goodness. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tammy Carroll. I'm Sharice's best friend. Just because other mom, as she called me. I just listened to The Amazing Grace, and I gotta say, she was probably one of the most amazing girls I've ever met in my life. So absolutely surreal.
That was one of those moments.
Oh my gosh.
I hadn't heard that. I didn't listen. I didn't listen on purpose till I came in, and oh my goodness.
You know, what's funny is I've heard her sing so many times. My husband plays in a band, and she sings with him. You know, she's never really wanted to get up and get with the band because she's just, you know, bless her heart, she doesn't like to sing in front of people, but she has the most amazing gift, and I don't care how many times I've ever heard her sing. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life, and it was such a tribute to Jess and what she does and what she could do and how she can make you feel. She always made you feel, you know, whether you could have the worst day ever, and she would make you feel like you were just the most important person in the world.
I agree. I can't thank you enough for calling in.
You're welcome. Thanks for doing what you're doing. This is amazing.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good evening. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Jessica's Uncle Brad, also known as Uncle Baldy, because I don't have any hair. And, I got so many memories of her, you know, but the one that sticks out with me is I remember my brother buying her a little go-kart, and he painted that thing the prettiest pink you'd ever want to see. And here was Jessica, the little towhead blonde, and she wasn't probably knee-high to a Coke bottle. And she'd get on that thing, and she was so light, and she'd try to go through the yard. She kept getting stuck. She couldn't go anywhere. And just to watch her bounce around. And then one day I was out there, and I goes, hey, Jessica, let me get on that thing. And she goes, Uncle Baldy, you can't fit on that thing. Well, I squeezed myself into it and took off down the road. It seemed like I was setting so low to the ground, I was doing 100 mile an hour. And I come flying through that yard, but that was just, just seeing her on that go-kart, trying to get that thing to go through the yard, like I said, as light as she was. But she's going to be missed by a lot of people, and I'm sure going to miss her. I got children of my own and stuff, and I just, you just got to get a hold of your kids and just tell them, just keep telling them you love them, and stuff, and the next, it could be one line tomorrow, you just never know. God's got a number on all of us, and if he needs one of us, he'll take us, however it's going to be. But, you kind of wish, you don't want to, you always hope you go before your kids do, but you just never know. So,
you do. Unfortunately, you never know, and I thank you for that's a great memory. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Bye-bye. And once again, the phone lines are open. I know we're running terribly short of time. We're probably going to hold this over just a little bit. I'm just going to make an edict that we're going to hold it over just a little bit tonight because I do have one more song I want to get in. 387-9326. Do want to mention this. We're going to try to get a couple more calls in if they happen. 387-9326. Here it is for the last time. The visitation for Jessica West will be Tuesday, November the 15th, 3 to 7 p.m. at the Gilead Friends Church. Funeral Wednesday morning, November the 16th at 11 a.m. at the Gilead Friends Church. Burial will be in the River Cliff Cemetery, Mount Gilead, Ohio. Telephone number again, 387-9326. Before we get out of here, her mother also sent along, her mother Cherise sent along this song. And it may be a little hard to hear. I'm not sure how it transferred, but this was a video of Jess singing. And I believe it was taken last week. Somebody had even said the night before the accident that claimed her life. So pay attention to the lyrics. Pay attention to the person. I think this was the last known recorded voice of a great person we're all going to miss. Jessica West, going to come back on the other side of this.
So tired of the straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. The storm keeps on twisting. You keep on building the lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escaping one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angels, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reveries. You're in the arms of the angels. May you find some comfort here.
Okay. We're about a minute over on time. We are going to hold this over. I do want to say a few words, but if there's anybody left, now's the time. 387-9326. 387-9326. Last chance to call in tonight on this tribute program to a great person we're all going to miss very much. Jessica West. going at the age of 24. 387-9326. We've certainly had our fair share of calls, and I thank you all for sharing your memories tonight. It means a tremendous amount to me, and to the family members who called in. I am absolutely, you have my undying gratitude. Good evening, you're on the air. Hello?
Yeah, this is Dad again.
Oh, yes.
I just would like to say that, again, thank you. But Jessica, her husband's name was Glenn Probach, and she loved that man with her whole heart. And I just wanted to get that in. That's my son-in-law, even though Jessica's gone. That is still my son-in-law.
I'm glad you called in and mentioned that. I truly didn't want to say it because I didn't know, but I'm glad you did.
You know what? I don't know either, but you know what? Jessica loved that man, and he is my son-in-law, and I love him to death. And I was glad he was there for my daughter, and he made her so happy.
And we thank him for that.
Yes. And
go ahead.
But I just wanted to mention his name because he was a big part of her life.
Thank you. Thank you and thank you for calling in both times. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I think that's a nice way to end the phone calls. I'm going to wrap up the program here. The last few days have kind of got me thinking a lot about heaven and God and things of that nature. I've been thinking about it for a while now, to be honest. In recent months, I've interviewed a person who was a full-blown atheist. I've interviewed a reverend who had 8 types of cancer, who was on hospice care. And I've talked to psychics and tarot card readers, all on air, I think trying to find the answer to that one question. What happens when we leave here? Is there a heaven? How do we get there? What happens? Movies have portrayed it very well. There's a line in Ghost. I think we all remember that, Ghost, the movie with Patrick Swayze. You take the love with you, that's all you take with you. Wizard of Oz, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I think all these things mean the same thing. Heaven is good, and it's a good place to be. Here's what I want to say. I don't know. I don't know any more than anybody else what happens when you leave this planet. I don't know. I don't know that anybody could give you a for sure answer. Here's what I do know. You have immortality by living on in the memories and the thoughts of everybody you touched. Whether you're the reverend, whether you're the atheist, whether you're the psychic, whether you're the tarot card reader, whether you're the rabbi, whether you're the Episcopal Church person, no matter what race, color, creed, or ethnicity you are, you live on by the people who remember you. You become part of humanity. And let me tell you something this last hour and so many minutes has done for me. It's proved without a shadow of a doubt, and I know it's hard to believe now, but I've seen it on Facebook, I've seen it on the internet, I've seen it in emails, and I saw it in this program, that Jessica West is going to live on in our minds, in our hearts, and in our memories for a long time to come. The physical life has come to an end, and that's why we're all sad. At 24 years of age, it came to an end last Wednesday. But she's going to live on in our minds and our thoughts, and we're going to smile about something someday and remember something about her, and it's going to be a happy moment. She left a legacy that will go on forever. I will remember her until I'm not here anymore, as I'm sure everybody else will. She was a great person, and she has achieved something that we all want to achieve: immortality. Jess, I hope you saw this program tonight, and I hope you approve, and I hope it wasn't too sappy for you. I hope to see you again one day. That's all for this Sunday night. Scott Spears, headed for the dugout.